It is the middle of summer, the kind of heat that makes the air feel thick, and you are walking your dog. Within a few minutes, your dog is panting hard, tongue out, moving slower and slower, clearly struggling with the heat. You, on the other hand, are just sweating. Uncomfortable, sure, but you keep walking, keep functioning, keep thinking clearly. Your dog is covered in fur built for a completely different climate than the one it is standing in right now. You are not. And that difference is not random. It points to one of the strangest, most consequential evolutionary decisions in our entire history. So here is the question. Out of every primate on Earth, every close relative we have, chimpanzees, gorillas, orangutans, all covered head to toe in thick fur, why are humans the naked ones? Here is the part that surprises most people. Humans did not actually lose our hair follicles. Research comparing human and chimpanzee skin has found that we have roughly the same density of hair follicles as our closest primate relatives. What changed was not the number of follicles, but what grows out of them. Instead of thick, coarse fur, most of the human body is covered in something called vellus hair, extremely fine, nearly invisible strands that provide essentially no insulation at all. So this was never really about losing hair. It was about hair shrinking down to the point of near invisibility, while something else grew to take its place. The timeline for this shift traces back roughly 1.2 to 2 million years ago, around the emergence of early Homo species, like Homo habilis, as hominins moved out of shaded forests and into open, sun-exposed grasslands. This new environment came with a serious problem. Thick fur is an excellent insulator, which is exactly what you want in a cold climate. But it becomes a dangerous liability when you are moving through direct sunlight for extended periods, especially if your survival strategy depends on covering long distances on foot. Early humans are believed to have relied heavily on a hunting method called persistence hunting, essentially chasing prey animals for hours across open terrain until the animal, unable to cool down fast enough, collapsed from heat exhaustion. That strategy only works if the hunter can regulate their own body temperature better than their prey can. This is where the real evolutionary trade happened. Dr. Nina Jablonski, an anthropologist who has extensively studied the evolution of human skin, has identified thermoregulation as the most likely primary driver behind our hair loss. As body hair thinned into near nothing, humans simultaneously evolved an extraordinary number of eccrine sweat glands, somewhere between 2 and 5 million of them, capable of producing up to 12 liters of sweat in a single day. For comparison, chimpanzees and other primates rely mostly on panting and a much smaller number of glands, concentrated in specific areas like their palms and feet. Humans, instead, developed sweat glands spread almost uniformly across nearly the entire body. When that sweat evaporates off exposed skin, it pulls heat away from the body extremely efficiently, far more effectively than panting or localized sweating ever could. Bare skin was not an accident. It was the necessary partner to a cooling system unlike anything else in the primate world, allowing early humans to stay active and alert during the hottest parts of the day, when most other animals were forced to rest in the shade. This adaptation likely mattered for more than just hunting. Some researchers believe efficient full-body cooling may have also protected the brain itself from overheating during increased physical activity, since primates generally lack an effective mechanism for cooling blood specifically around the brain. A body that could regulate its temperature more precisely may have supported the increased brain activity that came to define later human evolution. Fur loss likely was not driven by a single cause either. Some researchers, including evolutionary biologist Mark Pagel, have proposed that reduced body hair also meant fewer hiding places for lice, ticks, and other parasites, an additional health advantage layered on top of the cooling benefit. And as bare skin became exposed to direct sunlight for the first time, humans evolved darker skin pigmentation as a companion adaptation, protecting against harmful ultraviolet radiation now reaching the skin directly. So to recap, humans did not lose our hair follicles. We kept roughly the same density as our primate relatives, but the hair itself shrank down to fine, nearly invisible vellus hair. In exchange, we evolved millions of eccrine sweat glands spread across almost the entire body, an evaporative cooling system unmatched anywhere else among primates. That trade-off, thin hair for maximum sweating, likely supported persistence hunting, protected the brain during increased activity, reduced parasite exposure, and eventually came paired with darker skin to guard against solar radiation. So the next time you are sweating through your shirt on a hot day, cursing your own body for its apparent malfunction, remember that this uncomfortable, inconvenient process is actually one of the most sophisticated cooling systems in the animal kingdom, the direct result of a trade our ancestors made roughly 2 million years ago that let them do something almost nothing else on the savannah could do. Keep moving, keep hunting, and keep thinking clearly right through the hottest part of the day.